Hi, everybody. How are you doing today? This is Carrie Hamblen, the CEO and President of the Las Cruces Green Chamber of Commerce, coming to you again with another one of our special series of featuring our nonprofit members of the Las Cruces Green Chamber of Commerce who are participating in the 2025 Southern New Mexico Giving Day, which is taking place on Friday, April 25th. And today I have with me two powerhouses in the theater world. We have Denise Welsh, who is the president of the board of directors for the American Southwest Theater Company, and we have their marketing guru, the one and only Michael Cook, here to talk about the American Southwest Theater Company. It's so good to see your faces. I've seen Mike's face a lot while I was
Yep.
up in Santa Fe, which was great with me. But Denise, it's great to see you too. I haven't seen you in a while. So how are you all doing today?
Doing
I'm
fantastic.
great. Thank you. How are you?
I'm fabulous now that I'm back home and amongst my community. So I think it's fantastic. So
And messed it up, I hope.
Yes. And so, I've known about the American Southwest Theater Company for a long time. Used to have an office with some of the theater professors in the same building, and know about that through our fellow friends Tom Smith and now Will Kilroy. Can you tell us a little bit about like the background of the American Southwest Theater Company and what your part is in a successful theater program at NMSU?
Okay, well, American Southwest Theater Company was founded as a nonprofit to support NMSU theater by Mark Midoff in 1984. So it
Cool.
is now over 40 years old. And Mark Midoff, along with people like Bruce Street, the Sasparos, Heather Pollard, and others, were the founding members for the American Southwest Theater Company. And I believe that Mark's, intent was to raise money to, again, enhance, which we've continued, the theater experience for our students. So by raising money, what our main objective and our mission is to enhance their educational experience by bringing in guest artists. And these might be actors, they can be directors, they can be set designers, costumers, to come in, hold workshops with our students, have Q&A sessions with them, actually work with them sometimes during an actual production, so they can get the feel for what it's like in that real world and get
Hmm.
that real world experience from these professionals. But to do that, of course, we have to bring these guest artists in. We're flying them in, we're housing them. So again, we try to cover all those costs so the theater isn't burdened with that. In addition, we do want to help the students directly. And because undergraduate students are not given funds for travel, we created a fund where we will assist them in travel. So they can travel for auditions, they can travel for competitions, and we will help them with their travel expenses, whether it's, gas for their car, hotel, food, and so on. And that is one of the main things that we
Hmm.
do offer. We had 15 students attend the Kennedy
Mhm.
Center this past spring.
Wow.
Yeah, so and they
Awesome.
did great. They did. It's a great experience for them. They come back just raving about it.
Hmm.
And then we also, with these guest artists, I did not to talk about their honorariums in addition to their travel. So there is quite a cost. I mean, there have been times when it's been in excess of $10,000 to
Yeah.
bring a professional in. We also choreographers, just like now. Right now, we are, I missed the prom. Will Kilroy is directing. We are covering the cost for 3 choreographers because there's a lot of dancing, there's a lot of singing. And the great thing about this performance that I'm the most thrilled about, just to sidebar a little bit, is that it is now this particular play, The Prom, is a collaboration with not just the theater, but the music department and the dance department. And
Hmm.
so that we're totally thrilled about. So we've got students and faculty involved from all 3 departments, as well as a 22-person cast. And again, many coming from theater, music, dance, and the community. We have the most fabulous, talented community in Las Cruces. Our theater community just is amazing to me.
Well, I think the interesting thing is like, so Mike and I were in a play together.
Ah,
Indeed.
yes.
Denise, I know that you've been in a lot of plays, and that's why you're been such a strong supporter of that. In those partnerships, the ASTC though doesn't help the community members. It's specifically for the students who are going through the theater program. And I'm
Yes.
wondering, Mike, what have you seen in terms of like the support that ASTC gives to students? Are there any situations that you saw like almost immediately the impact of somebody working with a set designer or a builder or a stage manager or anybody who's like part of that whole process where you saw the change happen like with a student because of
Well,
the programs?
Carrie, this is probably not the best example in the world because I wasn't there, but I heard about it. The trip that Denise talked about, the 15 theater students that the theater department with some assistance from ASTC took to New York
Yes.
earlier this year. I saw the picture of the kids with a Tony winner on stage with her show. And forgive me, I don't remember the show, but this is a person who started out like they did and was an actor, and she's won a Tony Award. And they're on stage with her, on the stage where she's performing. And there's nothing like that.
Wow.
And I remember personally Jane Sibbett, who is one of the actors in Friends, one of my favorite characters. Jane Sibbett came because she knew Will Kilroy. And we paid her a small honorarium, ASTC did, and she talked to students about how she got the part in Friends and the work she did to get there and what it was like having that experience. And it's very real world. And I think about the intimacy coordinator, this world-class intimacy coordinator we brought a couple of years ago that ASTC, I think we paid the
Yes,
whole bill, at
I
least
believe
part
so.
of it. And this is a woman who's done television and movies and knows, pardon the pun, knows intimately what she's talking about. And
Right.
there's
And the intimacy coordinator has become like a big deal, an
yes,
important part
yes,
to make sure that folks, if they have to do scenes where there's intimate encounters or choreography,
yes,
that it's done with the utmost respect for both participants and all of that,
absolutely.
and respectful, and so that's amazing
Yeah,
that I mean, and and so many people, I don't know unless you've been in an experience like that. And I agree with you, Denise, like we have such an amazing community that likes to participate. The fact that I've been able to do two plays because I wanted to try it. I wanted to see what it was like. And I was able to do two many, many years ago when I was still at the radio station, that we have that opportunity, and that our theater culture welcomes not just students, but sees the benefit of bringing in students, professionals, and community members, because collectively that makes for a very powerful experience whenever you go to the theater.
absolutely. It really,
Yeah,
really
again, like
does.
what Mike was talking about the New York trip, because I did get to go on that trip with the 15 students. And of course, ASTC did cover, a small honorarium for a lot of the folks. One that I know the students benefited from was Doug Shapiro. He invited the students to his home to actually show, what it's like living in New York, and gave them that full experience. Yeah, so there's been some amazing, amazing folks that we've introduced the students to on these trips to New York. Because it
Yeah,
is a class, and students who have to pay the airfare and they have to pay, certain things, but the benefit of it is tremendous.
yeah.
And ASC
Well,
is great to be a part of it.
as we finish up today, I mean, I think we might have already answered this question, but when people are moved by the value and the mission that ASTC has, what happens when they donate? How do their funds during the Southern New Mexico Giving Day go to help you continue to offer these support systems for theater students at NMSU?
Okay, well, what we do, we have a process by which the theater, NMSU Theater, Will Kilroy, will come to board meetings. He is the liaison for the department to ASTC, and he will come with the proposals, and we invite the faculty themselves when they're getting ready to, put together a play. Like the next season is going to be coming up here very soon. And they're to, come to us and ask, say, I'm going to need maybe help with paying for musicians, again, like what we're doing for the prom. We've done for Adam's Family. We've done for many musicals. So we do have a process, and we like to have the faculty ask us, or tell us what they need. And then we do, of course, decide, how we're going to spend the funds that are generously given to us. And we totally appreciate that. So there's that process. And then, of course, there's one just specifically for students, like the travel request. But there is also an emergency fund request. And we're dealing with a situation right now where we do not want a student to drop out of school because maybe they can't afford a textbook, or they're a couple $100s behind in their rent. So we do have a process where we help students, and it happens every semester that we're helping
Wow.
students stay in school and focus. And then also we have a senior scholarship. So as students get ready to graduate, they can apply for this $1,000 scholarship that we have to help them kickstart their dream, whatever it might be.
Mhm. That's awesome. Well, if you are interested in supporting the American Southwest Theater Company during Southern New Mexico Giving Day, remember pre-giving starts on April 21st, but the actual extravaganza day of contributions and donations is taking place on Friday, April 25th. And the Las Cruces Green Chamber of Commerce, along with the Community Foundation of Southern New Mexico and the United Way of Southwest New Mexico, will be filling your social media feeds all day long. So we are very grateful for what you do with the American Southwest Theater Company and for helping nurture our students who are wanting to move on into the field of drama and theater and television and movies. And so very grateful for that and grateful for both of you as well. And thank you so much for all that you're doing
Carrie,
with
thank you.
ASTC.
Thank you so very much for this opportunity.
Yep. Thanks to the Green
Absolutely.
Chamber and Carrie
Yes,
specifically. We
thank you.
appreciate your support.
Absolutely. Well, I'm going to keep my fingers crossed for you as well. And I hope you both have a great week.
You too.
Thank
Thank
you.
Okay,
you.
we'll see you. Mhm.
Bye-bye.
Bye.